guys, Ash here, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Glad to have you all here with me today. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way if you need them out there today. And damn it, I need them out there today. I need them again, guys. Oh man, I hate to make another angry video 7 days after I made my last angry video. In case you missed it, it's called, or the previous episode was on I'm Beyond Disappointed, really narrowing in on Clan Siege now that it's been out for a while. And even if you don't care about Clan Siege, I recommend you watch that video. If you love Clan Siege, you hate Clan Siege, or again, you're apathetic to it, again, I would recommend, because it's not just Clan Siege, it's the fact, it's almost the hubris that Plarium displayed in responding to the community sentiment about Clan Siege like a politician. Like, we asked them a question, the community gave their feedback, and they responded answering different questions, addressing different issues, some of which players never even mentioned as an issue, but they ignored the actual questions, the actual main pain points of the community. And it feels like, frankly, as frustrating as it can be, because this game, fundamentally, I love it, or I wouldn't upload on this damn channel on the game. Even though I love the game, I love the community, I love what I do, and I'm grateful for this little hobby of mine on the channel, it still feels like less and less and less are they actually caring and listening anymore. And I know some of you might chuckle and say, did they ever care and listen? But frankly, it feels like everything's slowly moving in a bit of a more aggressive, and also condescending might be a big word here, or the wrong word choice, but it almost feels like, again, a level of hubris where half the things that people complain about, they don't even respond to. You know, a lot of developers, what they'll do is, for example, something unpopular will happen inside the game, and I'm going to talk about a few frustrations of mine recently, but something unpopular will happen, and then they'll just address it. Sometimes communication can go a long way, both in relationships, but also in a player-developer relationship. Even if the answer is going to be negative, even if the answer isn't going to be what the player base wants to hear, oftentimes just talking about it, hey, we made this decision, here's why, I know it's not going to be popular, but, you know, this is why we made it, and we hear you, and we're committed to, you know, taking your feedback into consideration in the future. Even as whimsical and like eye roll cliche as that may be, it does actually help versus just total radio silence. And that sucks, because overall it just feels lately, like even for Plarium, it feels lately like they're just moving in a more aggressive, even more aggressive direction, right? And I know you could argue, and in my last video, we got a few comments, dozens of comments saying, dude, yet you're sitting here playing the game. Yet you're sitting here spending in the game. And I totally get that. I totally do. But I guess ultimately I'm in that spot where I love the game. Is that weird to say? I imagine most of you do too. I'm also simultaneously very, very disappointed. Even little things like the Altar of Souls, Unity Soul Summon Pool, I just feel like everything's just so goddamn, excuse my French, but it's so, feels extra predatory lately, guys. You know, they added the souls, they added the mythicals, and it just feels like, God, that's fine. I get it. I get that a game over time is going to have to come up with, if they're not going to add 7-star artifacts or level 100 champions, there's going to have to be ascension. There's going to have to be new dungeons to farm that ascension. There's going to have to be new rarities of champions after 5 years. I totally get it. I get that they're going to add to the end game, not the beginning of Raid Shadow Legends, but they're ignoring a lot of potential players and growth opportunities along the way for two reasons. Number one is there's too much. They're throwing way too much at new players. I've mentioned this before, but this just little drop-down menu here, it's like, think of a new player in this game, how goddamn confusing it's gonna be. You're like, what the heck is all this stuff? Sometimes I need energy, sometimes I need keys, sometimes I need keys and energy. It's not intuitive what you're doing at any given point. There's not a lot of catch-up mechanics in this game to help you, someone who's starting out right now, compete with someone who's been playing for 3, 4, 5 years, forget even spending, just playing that long, right? So for new players, it can be daunting, right? And then for old players, whether you're a spender or free to play, it's fine that they add all this stuff. It really is. I get it. I get it. I understand that. I understand it's a gotcha game. Gotcha. It's in the damn word of the genre. Like, gotcha. So I get it. But at the same time, wouldn't it be smart to strategically also give a bit more rewards to players along the way to make things like fusions easier, not harder. And I'm embarrassed, and this is not Plarium's fault. But like I said, I have a lot going on in real life, and I feel extra embarrassed because I still have the YouTube channel too, where I should actually be on top of these things. But they had a stupid update in the middle of a tournament, like before the end of it. I forget. I know some of you guys in the comments said the same thing. It kicked me offline. I missed 25 fragments. And now guess who doesn't have the fusion? I know I could have still gotten it had I been more vigilant and done every single one. But this fusion, Thor, out of everybody, oh man, I'm 25 fragments away. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, and it's all my fault. This one's not Plarium's fault, but it used to be back in the day, you make a mistake like this, hey, life happens, and you can't rearrange your entire schedule over optimizing a fusion. They used to actually have nice little catch-up things where you could win a tournament or win an event or place top 3 and get a few extra fragments and stuff like that. And it just used to feel so much different in terms of the predatory nature of everything in this game. So what is the recent big L that Plarium is taking right now? First of all, will they even go in a different direction? I highly freaking doubt it, right? Even little things. Sorry, I'm on a rant today, guys. I am on one, but it feels insulting to the player base, like they just don't care. The player base isn't growing for Raid Shadow Legends, so you ought to take care of the players that are actually playing the game still. The audience that you do have, keep them engaged, keep them happy, at least make them feel heard, at least. Things like, little things, like, I'm going to get to the point here, I apologize, I'm taking 20 minutes to get there, but I feel like a broken record. Add a way to get skill tomes in the game. Add a few levels of minnow so we don't have to waste $1 billion, and I'm not even saying to make it cheaper, I'm just make it faster, right? You did it to the potion keeps. Add a few levels. Why? No, they don't. Why don't they want to add levels? Why is there only 15? It's the only thing they haven't added anything to in the history of the game. Every other dungeon gets hard mode, gets extra 5 levels, whatever. Why nothing on Minnow? Because they want you to pay the 800 gems. That's why. That's it. That's the only reason. It's just greed. And I don't mind a little bit of greed. I get it. They have to make money with a relatively small player base compared to some of these massive titles, especially given what I'm sure their marketing budget is in this game. But at the same time, once in a while, can you throw a bone? Once in a while, can you add, they've been doing great on quality of life lately, and I praise them along the way. But once in a great while, can you just give the player base something they've been asking for years? And a few extra minnow levels, It's not much. When you add something to the dungeon map, how about you consider it a dungeon in your events? Dungeon divers. It's a dungeon. It's in the dungeon map. It says dungeons. But when I dive, I get nothing from, Sand Devil or Phantom Shogun. I mean, gosh, Iron Twins, energy and keys? That's a little unnecessary. How about one or the other? And their latest, what's their latest? Saf from HH Gaming and Colred, they both have great videos really detailing what happened the last few days. Oh man, I am on one, but do you blame me, guys? It's frustrating when a game that you love so much and a community that you respect and are grateful to be a part of. And honestly, it's cool to cover video games on YouTube selfishly, personally. But it sucks when they make so many bad damn decisions. Events. This one, or actually as a tournament, they're doing one of these again, guys. They're doing one of these. It makes a lot of sense, but probably players know better. They know why they're doing these things. Or hey, they just made us spend all of our resources for all these summoning events. We'll get to the extra summoning event in a moment. But now what do we have? Now we have a chance of outspending everybody to get our hands on an Odin Feyfather, an exclusive limited time champion. So now we have a champion chase tournament again, following the last 2 champion chase tournaments, where we can spend against, heck, I'm a stupid whale. And I know there'll be a bigger whale, right? And it doesn't matter. No one has shards left anyway, so it's going to be another big spend off. And again, I shouldn't be surprised. I know the game. Okay, let's talk about this one, guys. It's not just what they did with this event. It's how they did it. It's the Titan event. I don't really talk too much about these Titan events here on the channel. I haven't really mentioned a lot about the previous ones. They can be, I know some people hate them. They see the whole Titan events as being predatory in nature, but I guess you can make that argument about half the things in this damn game, if not more, 80, 90, 100% of things in this game. But the thing is, you get the split souls. I don't mind these events personally, but it's the way that they did it again. They made this whole thing, the last summoning event of the fusion, the one that we just were on, where we had the 50 fragments, the way that they came out and they said, hey, we're throwing you an additional summoning event for the fusion, yay! But what do? They snuck in the hammer points. They snuck in the hammer points to make it more difficult to get your 5-star soul for Thor, because everybody thought that this was going to be missing the hammer points and only attached to the fusion, because that's what they told us. They didn't say, hey guys, be prepared, there's going to be a big summoning event. Just a heads up. Just some fairness, a level of fairness, right? Other games like Watcher, they show you not only the event, but all the corresponding events, how you win points or whatever in those events. So what they ended up doing was they made this additional summoning event. They said this is going to help players for the fusion, and then they attached the hammer points to it. They snuck them in. So now again, players used all their shards. Some of you guys may have been suspicious of this and saved your shards for the last event, so you lucked out, which is great. But most players used their shards, tried to do the fusion, as soon as possible, tried to be fastidious about everything. Shout out to fastidious. And what do? They used all their shards, so now they're going to be capped out in the Titan event, right? Or they're going to have to spend more. Predatory is one thing. Being a pay-to-win gotcha game, we understand the game we're playing. But lack of communication and sneaky moves like this, it has to stop, or they're going to start losing money and they're going to start losing their player base. And I don't want to see that happen, because frankly, I want to keep making videos on Raid Shadow Legends, So I really hope they respond and change their ways and just communicate about these things. Give a little bit of a heads up, It's either they're aloof, or they're ignorant, or they're just don't care. They just don't care about, or they're apathetic to the community. And I don't know which one it is, but gosh, I hope things change. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you for watching all the way till the end of this little rant video. I'll be back at you with another video tomorrow, but let me know how you feel, and let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my points or frustrations in the comments below, guys. Who knows? Maybe I'm seeing things incorrectly. Maybe I am in my own echo chamber of hearing these complaints on a daily basis, and some of you guys see things, again, in a more positive light. I'd love to hear from you guys either way in the comments. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.